Well, it's Thursday around midday, just about 11:30, and got to head off to Lily Creek again. It's quite a nice day. It actually doesn't feel that hot. I think we might have seen the worst of the hot weather. It's probably a dangerous thing to say, but it was a lot hotter in the beginning of December. So there's a few clouds about. It's quite pleasant, as you can see. It's not a bad part of the world. Pity I bought next to a creche. It's the worst decision I made. Plus those trade guys are still working on that retail refurbishment. Seems to be going on forever. And I did actually contact a guy through Gumtree who claims to be a painter, and he did get back to me. He just asked me when I needed the job done, and he said he'd do a quote on it for me. The trouble is there's no feedback on this. From what I remember, Gumtree used to provide feedback on tradesmen and what have you, but they don't seem to have that now. So that's a bit of a regressive step, I think. I don't know what the story is there. But anyway, I'll take a chance to talk to the guy, see what he says. I couldn't imagine me doing it myself, so if I don't get this done now, I'll never get it done, I think. I think the first quote I got was a bit high, so it just depends. The second one, when I went to went through Gumtree through a portal which supposedly puts you in contact with all these tradies. I only got one that I thought was worth contacting. I contacted them, and then the guy ended up saying he wouldn't do it. Then I spoke to, it might have been his wife or someone acting as secretary on the phone, and she seemed very, I don't know, apologetic about it, because the guy just wouldn't do the job. There's a low-flying plane landing in Cairns Airport. Yeah, good timing. We are getting quite a few domestic flights, but yeah, so she didn't seem too keen on the whole thing, and a bit embarrassed that the painter wouldn't do it. Then she said that there's $75 per hour you can get someone to do the painting for you. She couldn't give me an idea how long the job would take, so it's sort of just left up in the air, plus the fact they're not going to get the paint for me. I mean, I don't have transport. I want someone who's going to actually collect the paint and provide ladders and things. Obviously, that's the whole point of it. Anyway, so that was left up to you. So in desperation, I just tried the first painter in Gumtree. There are a few of them there, mind you, in Gumtree. But like I said, at least the guy replied yesterday when I put a message in, and I've given him the details, my phone number and address. So the ball's in his court now, and any luck he might show up tomorrow. I'm a bit busy today, unfortunately. Wouldn't mind catching up with that Guinness. Spoke to my friend in South Africa, Johan, and unfortunately it looks as though he's stuck there until July. I doubt whether he'd be very happy about that. I'm assuming he would rather go back to Vietnam, but he can't get back in there. Well, he can't leave the country until July, because I know they've had a few corona outbreaks in South Africa, and of course it's a fairly disorganised place. There's a curfew on at the moment, I think he said from 11 till 4 a.m. There's a curfew, and he sort of agreed with that. Well, it can be a dangerous place, South Africa. I think it's a tinderbox, actually. I think it could well go right down the drain, the way Zimbabwe's gone. But hopefully not. But I know Johan's not very positive about the place, and he's in Cape Town, which is supposed to be quite a pretty city, but he'd still rather not be in South Africa, I'm sure of that. So he got to see his grandkids in London. Once he left London, he's stuck. I guess he had some business to attend to, because he used to live in South Africa, and now he's stuck there because of this bloody COVID thing. So if he does get out, in July and goes back to Vietnam, and I can finally get to fly around mid-year, although I'm not feeling optimistic about that at the moment. I think the conservatism in Australia is amazing amongst the federal government as far as travel's concerned. As I say, it's more restrictive in Australia than New Zealand. In New Zealand it's just a travel advisory, but here you have to beg the government to leave the country. It's sort of like a reversal on the transportation that happened when we were colonies in a British colony, where they were forcibly transporting people over to Australia. Now they won't let people out of the bloody country. Oh God. So yeah, like I say, I'm not happy about the fact that state governments have had so much power in this country, and I think, like I said, I think Morrison's been pretty weak. I know he's getting quite a lot of negative comments on news.com, so maybe his honeymoon period is over, and he could be in for a rougher run. Hopefully, I hope there's more scrutiny on the federal government, but who knows. And then we've got to worry about the lunatics in Washington. Oh boy. It looks as though Biden has actually put the stop of withdrawing troops from Afghanistan. That's been withdrawn. He seems to want to just basically veto virtually every Trump policy. And these were good policies that people supported, getting out of wars, but chances are he'd probably prefer a war. It's good for his popularity. Again, the clock's ticking and people are thinking, well, Biden won't be around for more than a few months, maybe midway through the year, and then Kamala will take over. And boy, that'll be interesting. That's a good way of tanking your support during the midterms, if we have fair elections, and that's a big if. It's just a couple of people walk past and rode past. Yeah, it's sort of it'd be nice if they rang bells or something if they got a bike behind you. I think that's just a courteous thing to do, but not many people follow that, and I think it's a good idea. I'm sure from time to time someone's sort of wandered across the path, not realising someone's bearing down from behind on a bike, and they've hit them. I'm sure that's happened. That's why I just think it's way too cavalier of bike riders to not alert their presence to people. Like I say, I'd say maybe 25% might do that. So they're the responsible ones. Yeah, I'm glad I walked today. It's actually not too bad. I'll probably take the bus back. I don't think I want to walk back to Parramatta Park from the hospital where I have a check-up. Well, having tests actually to be quite accurate with it. No big deal, quite used to it. As you get older, you become more of a guinea pig. Always, the medicos are always out to check out what's going on in your body, which I guess is good. It's better than being ignored. I notice where I'm going is getting busier and busier though. The Cairns hospital is flat out. As a matter of fact, Imaging gave me a call, and they normally would call me a week or two before the appointment's due, and they only rang me about a day before, and I only sent them a message because I hadn't heard from them. So they're really they're working on a tight schedule. There's always going to be stacks of demand for medical procedures and stuff in Australia. Aging population. Young guy just jogged past, looked pretty fit, handled the heat. This is the longest leg of Lily Creek, the second leg, and unfortunately it's not all shaded. It'd be nice if they put a few more trees in where the depot is. That's where it's really, there's no shade, but down here's quite nice, but it only takes us about halfway through. Yeah, those places seem a lot quieter than where I'm living. It's way too noisy where I am. I've noticed there's a few houses I've been looking at are still on the market down the beaches, so some of the real estate isn't moving too fast, and there's not many properties on the market at all. It's very quiet. Must be very frustrating for real estate agents. Yeah, I finally bought some shares on Monday. I wish I'd bought more actually, but I only bought. I went back to IAG, which is Australian Insurance Group. Insurance Australia Group, I guess it is IAG, yeah. And they're the biggest insurer in Australia. I've had shares of them before, but I've never had shares that cheap. I bought them at $4.80, and the cheapest I've bought them previously would probably be mid-fives, at high fives. So quite a fair bit of scope there for growth, and they do pay dividends. So maybe the rains have caused a lot of claims on the insurance industry, and that's why their price is down. But the smart move, if you're getting in the stock market, is to track stocks and try to get them in their troughs, because nearly every stock on the stock market does actually have troughs as well as, you know, highs and lows. So that's the real trick of it. You've got to have patience to do it. You really do need patience to be an effective investor, I think. I made some bad decisions with some high-tech stocks and things, and but the purchase of those CBA shares during the slump, the Corona slump last year, was smart. I wish I'd bought more of them actually. I've got 740 of them. I wish I'd bought got up to about 1,000. That would have been good. Yeah, they're doing very well at the moment. But CBA is the most highest capitalisation of a stock in Australia. So it's pretty safe. So I think they'll be improving the dividends again too, which would be nice. Because my tax return's not going to look flash this year, that's for sure. I haven't got any capital gains yet, which is unusual. But I probably sold the ones I'd got capital gains on too quickly last time, and got in. It was all included in my previous return. It would have been better to wait longer, get a better price, and do it this year. But yeah, not always planning perfectly. Whew. A little bit of a breeze, but it's quite calm today, which is good for the old GoPro. And you've got these places over the other side of the road. Other bank there, sometimes I see quite a few people sort of picnicking, and big picnics over the other side there. There's quite a bit of shade. It's a shame the path isn't here. It's a shame you can't cross over with a bridge. That'd be nice, and then walk on that side. That'd be a lot more pleasant than here. As you can see, there's not much shade. I'm not sweating too badly. I'm doing okay. I think my fitness level's improved again, so that's good. Just waiting for my bus. Take about another 7 minutes, I think. Yep. And yeah, I got through really quickly today. I thought I wouldn't be leaving town until about probably about 3ish, but it's actually only about 1:30 or so. So maybe 1:45 to 2. It's a big improvement. I got through really quickly, so it was good. Got all the stuff out of the way. It's quite warm at the moment, being midday, around midday, mid-afternoon. I was going to have a Guinness, but I might have one later. Still got to get some prescriptions done, so see how I feel. I might head off later. But if you actually buy individual tickets, like if I bought 2 tickets to get back home, it would have cost me $3 as opposed to $2.40 for a whole daily ticket. So the value is definitely in the daily ticket, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, it's pretty hot in the sun. I actually bought some Bombay Sapphire today. I've never bought that before. It was only $46, which from First Choice, which was pretty good. I mean, I could have paid $42 for the beefeater, which is fine. But I want to see what all the commotion is about Bombay Sapphire, because I personally think it's probably not wasted money, but I'll find out. If it is, I've paid $4 extra, but $46 for a 700ml bottle of Bombay Sapphire is pretty decent. They give some pretty big discounts at First Choice, so you've just got to be very selective of what you buy. It's like most places. So, yeah, I don't think like Monteith, they're still charging an extra $10 or more at Murphy's compared to what they're charging at First Choice. So it's quite extraordinary. I don't know if I'd have Monteith again. It's nice, but yeah, I prefer Guinness, but we'll see how it goes. I might come back later and have a Guinness, I think. What the hell? I'm feeling a bit better, so good opportunity. There are a few people at the pub even this hour, about 2 o'clock, so it'll be a bit busier, presumably between 4 and 5, I'd say. Anyway, we'll see. Hot day in Cairns. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.